I've got to sit down. I'm really at a loss for words right now. Today, at the hospital I work at, I had a soul-crushing experience. I went to see my last patient of the day. He looked on the verge of tears and said he couldn't participate in therapy with me. I asked him what was wrong, and he told me the oncologist had just left the room. My insides tightened. He told me the doctor had given him a 50% chance of living another 6 months. I tried to get him to open up a bit and to be a listening ear, maybe provide a bit of emotional support for him in this impossible moment. He talked for a few minutes, told me he had been a pastor and chaplain for 25 years. At the end of our conversation, I asked him if I could pray with him, and he shocked me by saying no. He didn't want me to pray with him or for him. Well, I left the room in a somber mood, but I've added him to my prayer list at home. Have you ever had such an experience? Have you ever wondered how to meet the spiritual needs of your patients or clients? If you work in the medical field, eventually you will come across someone in emotional and spiritual distress. Perhaps you'll have the opportunity to share your faith with someone. Or perhaps, like me, you recently graduated and entered the medical profession. Maybe you have a lot of questions like me. That's what this podcast is all about. I graduated and started working as an occupational therapist just 2 short years ago. What's an occupational therapist? Yeah, I get that question a lot. Well, we work closely with physical therapy and speech therapy. Physical therapy usually addresses a person's leg strength and walking. Occupational therapy addresses the arms and any tasks you do with your arms, like bathing, dressing, eating, cooking, driving, really anything that occupies your time, hence the name occupational therapy. So yeah, I graduated 2 years ago, and I quickly realized no class had taught me how to help a person in a spiritual crisis. No one taught me how to share my faith with someone who was interested. So I set out to find these answers on my own. Over the past 6 months, I've had numerous conversations with many wise and experienced medical professionals, most who have 10, 15, or even 30 years of experience. I recorded the best of those conversations, and I want to share them with you in this podcast mini-series. Over the next few episodes, you will hear stories, ideas, wisdom, and advice from other medical professionals who have graciously shared their experience and insight. Here are just a few of the questions we will address. If I'm gonna share my faith in the workplace, how can I do so ethically and morally? If a patient is depressed or down and feels God is punishing them or angry at them, what can I do or say? If you want to hear more, please subscribe and share this podcast with anyone who you think would be interested. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear episode 1 of the Eternal Medicine podcast.